My personal finances suffered. I had stopped paying myself from the business. 1 month turned into 2 months and 2 months turned into 3 months. I haven't been paying myself and then living off my other savings. When I looked at my investment account and I was like, yeah, no, we've got to get a full-time job. So I was like, I didn't run a business to not be able to live my life.
People may feel like you haven't made it unless you leave your 9 to 5. Why do you think that idea is so powerful and damaging?
We have this misconception that you have to leave your job to be a success. You can actually build wealth in your 9 to 5. I know more people that have built wealth in their 9 to 5s.
How does one deal with the ego and be a bit more brave to be like, look, this is my financial situation. I can't really afford this. Or it might not even be I can't afford this. I've got goals I want to try and do.
If your why is big enough and you're passionate about it, speak about that then. Why isn't your future non-negotiable for you? Why isn't your long-term savings non-negotiable for you? So I think people will save for what's important for them and they will buy what's important for them. What does success look like? I thought all driving the convertible, that was successful. I looked the part because people saw it and I didn't have to say anything. People assumed. But now it's like, I'm rich in mind. A lot of people, again, it's like what people see. I'm rich in mind.
Can you speak to how money mindset shifts affect not only our thinking, but also our physical well-being or stress levels? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Atto. We have a special guest in the building. We have Natalie Scott, who's a certified money coach who helps people transform their relationship with money. She's best known for empowering millennials and Gen Z to break free from limiting money beliefs, build financial confidence, and take control of their future with a focus on mindset as much as money management. Natalie brings clarity, energy, and a fresh perspective to personal finance, helping people not just manage their money, but feel good about it too. Natalie, how are you doing?
I'm good. That was a great intro.
Yeah, you liking the flowers? Yeah.
Okay. I'm well. I'm really well. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Long time coming again.
It's been I think it's been over a year now, isn't it?
It has.
Yeah, it's been over a year. But we've been chatting. We've been chatting as well. Yeah,
it's always nice to be here, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation because I think it'll be a good conversation, especially from the the money mindset part. And I'm really interested to hear more about you're now bringing in the physical aspect, which is going to be very interesting to hear because I haven't really seen that part or heard that part as well. But yeah, how are you doing? What's new with you? What's going on?
I'm good. I've been really well. I think this year I've kind of like looked at business differently, slowed down. Like at the beginning of the year, we're always rushing to be like resolutions, what we're going to do, let's get stuck in, it's new year, new me, that kind of thing. But I think I had a different kind of outlook on this year. I said I wanted to have a slow year. I wanted to like quieten the noise around me and just like take things slow. So that's been really nice. And to the point, I was only supposed to probably do that for a couple of months, but it went well into summer. So I've just had a long 6 months of just relaxing, looking after me, taking care of myself. And then obviously where business trickles in with that as well. So that's been good.
What made you decide to do that? Because that's very brave to do that. Because like you say, it's a new year and a lot of people will think, okay, I'm going to try and start something new.
I think it was on the back of being burnt out. Because last year was very busy, very hectic, and I welcomed it. I was juggling a lot of clients, which was really wholesome. But then I kind of just felt really burnt out because my birthday's in December and that's a time to like celebrate, have fun. And I didn't really do much. I had a very quiet one with my sister and parents. And I just thought to myself, wow, like this year's been really good, but I haven't really had a chance to kind of let it all sink in. And, again, I forgot the wins that I had that year because I was just always on go mode. And I thought, you know what, for 25, I just want to start it really slow and really be thankful for what's happened. I've got myself a little jar now so I don't forget. So anything that good that happens in a year, I put it in the jar. So it was very much a reflecting. And it went on longer than what I wanted it to go on for. But it's made me realize what I want, what I'm willing to accept, and literally design the life that I want for myself. It's given me that time because again in business we don't stop and pause. We're just constantly on the go.
Always on the go.
So it gave me a chance to like look at a few things and decide what I wanted out of it. So it was really good to do.
I appreciate that. I like the jar. I might steal that from you. I really like that.
It's the best thing ever.
So I was wondering, obviously I introduced a bit about you, but share a little bit about you, who you are, the main parts that you want people to know about you.
Sure. So I'll quickly go into even why I started this. Why did I get into money mindset or talking about money? It's because my own childhood, I had a great childhood. Money was always there. But for me, I always thought money was going to leave. So I became a money hoarder, which a lot of time when I talk to people about it, they kind of celebrate it like, oh my gosh, you hoarded money. That means you had money. Yeah, it mean I had money, but I had a very strained relationship with money because I was afraid to spend money in the fear that it wouldn't come back. When I'd get pocket money, I'll just save and never really spend it. And then what would happen is I'll go on a binge, right? I'll be like, oh yeah, finally I'm going to spend. And then I'd literally physically be sick because I'd feel like, why have I done that? So because I had that pattern with money, happening in the background, but then also starting investing at an early age of 18, I was like, I want to talk to other people. Do they have this relationship with money? I can't be the only one that's like this, but also there's other people that have different relationships with money. And I was really like insightful, very nosy child growing up. When I saw someone in a nice car, I wanted to know what do they do for a living. And it was always men. It's always men because like I look at my family, it's always the men in the nice cars, right? So I was like, I want to be the woman in the nice car. I want to, you know what I mean? Yeah. I remember I saw one woman when I was 15. I saw a black lady driving a Aston Martin, and I was like, that's what I want to be like. And like, how do we build this wealth? So I think just by seeing that and knowing that wealth could be attainable to anyone, literally through investing, I was like, I want to talk to people about money. That was really important to me. And obviously investing is important, but first off, like your foundation. So what's your relationship like with money? Because you can start investing, but if you haven't got a solid foundation, you might pull the money out when you see it going low, when that's the way you want to put the money in. So I think for me, it was like the mindset. Why do we have these relationships with our finances? Where does it come from? Childhood, etc. So yeah, I was just nosy. I wanted to coach people so I could just get insight into their life.
Is it?
I'm a nosy, but I'm a journalist by heart. I studied journalism.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so I'm really like nosy naturally. So being a coach, being able to like ask people questions and they're going to tell me, I was like, it fueled me and it fed my soul. And obviously I'm helping them at the same time because I'm either going to have a shared experience or a lived experience from someone else, and I'll be able to advise you. So that's what got me into talking about money. I couldn't shut up about it.
Interesting. And obviously then you'd be interested in the psyche of it. Like, and it makes sense, right? As a journalist, why you'd be interested. Yeah. Okay. So this is the connection. I can't believe I didn't make those dots in the first conversation. Yeah. But yeah, people go and listen to that conversation because that was a fantastic conversation. And I think today it's going to be very interesting. So you mentioned that you were a hoarder, right? Was there any time where you felt like you were like out of your depth with money? Like you felt like, oh, this is a bit overwhelming for me.
I think what became overwhelming for me was when money would slip through my hands, which is weird, right? Because I'm a money hoarder. But then I'll have moments where I'll just binge and spend and then the money would be gone, right? So I lost control because I didn't budget back then. So I didn't really have a clear picture of what my finances was doing. I knew what I'd get, whether it would be pocket money, whether it would be my first job. I knew what was coming in, but I didn't really know what was leaving my account. So because I didn't have control over that, the building block just fell, basically. So I think it's only when I said to myself, I need to budget. And back then I used to be like, budgeting, it sounds restrictive. Like I don't want to budget like what everyone says today. But then when I started doing it, that's when I realized that, it's there to help you. It's there to aid. It's not there to restrict you. But yeah, I think that's when my whole hoarder lifestyle with money, not being able to control it. A lot of people might say that they had credit cards growing up or they had bank loans. I never had anything like that because I was really good with my credit cards and I was always within them. But my problem was I was robbing from myself. So say I'd have a savings goal of like £1,000. I'll have like £500 in there. But because it sat in my main account, I'd always dip in. So I was never ever being able to get to that goal. I had a goal of trying to save 10 grand in 1 year. It never happened because I didn't budget. I didn't have any structure over it. And every time I wanted to do something off the whim, through hoarding, off the whim, now I want to spend it, I'll dip into it. So that's when I became out of debt. That's when I realized I wasn't able to save up for anything. And it's only when I got into like early 20s, I realized that, okay, this needs to change. I need to budget. And that's when I was able to like save the tens of thousands of pounds, get a deposit for a rental property. That's the only time I was able to do those things once I started to budget and put everything together. Yeah.
If there's anybody listening to this that's going through that, because that's the thing with money, like I feel like everybody has their turning point. I have my turning point. I've mentioned this on the podcast a lot of times. and I'm, I'm sure that people want to get better with it. But you being a money mindset coach, how does somebody get better with it, or how do they kind of start moving towards, improving that?
I think it's just small, little incremental steps that you can take. So if you're someone that gets paid monthly, have a wealth date. And what that simply is getting a spreadsheet or a Google sheet, whatever is easy for you to work with, and just look at what's coming in. Most of us know what's coming in because if we get paid the same each month, but a lot of us can't give a figure
of what's coming out.
Yeah. So, and people probably get this advice all the time. And the reason why you're still getting the same advice because you still haven't done it. So I'd say you need to do it. And once you start doing that every month, it's only once a month you have to do it, and just prepare for the month ahead. You get to see what's coming out and you get to see if there's anything left over. And obviously, I'm always going to say pay yourself first. That's one thing I'm going to say, pay yourself first, whether it's your investments, your savings, your future, short-term, long-term. But do that every single month. And that's an incremental step that you can take. Another step that I would say is separate your money. A lot of people are like, and I mean, it shouldn't all be in one account. Again, this is advice that everyone should take heed of. A lot of people won't. But once you start separating your money and then you realize what you actually have, again, all that money comes in your account. If you haven't budgeted properly, once like maybe the big bills come out, you're going to probably look at all of that and feel, you've got all this money left to the end of the month. But you haven't, because you haven't budgeted for the little things that might come out, the subscriptions or the gym, whatever it is, the increments, the increases. So I would say separate your finances to different pots for like your wants, your needs, your fun, your maintenance. That's a big thing nowadays. Different maintenance you might do, your sinking funds for your car, whatever. Separate it, have it in separate accounts, separate pots or whatever, and then concentrate on those. And I think if you do that every month, it'll become innate. And I think you'd enjoy spending money. You'd enjoy paying bills too. It's like when a bill.
You enjoy paying bills?
I think I
enjoy that.
You know what? Because I've got the money. This is the thing. I've got the money to pay the bills. So
fair. I get what you mean.
Bills.
It's not painful.
It's not
because you're ready.
Even when it's an increase, I'm getting a decrease somewhere else because I'm a hunter. When it comes to looking for a good deal, I don't mess about. When it comes to broadband, I will not be paying these crazy prices that I see some people paying. I will find.
It's mad.
As soon as that period runs out and they're like, this is going to increase. No.
Yeah, I put reminders for that. So that
it's like little things that you can do. So you're not surprised. A lot of people get caught out because of the increases that they didn't check. You have to be the organizer of your own life. You need to put the reminders in place so you know when to change it or to move. Same with your car insurance. I don't stick with the same in car insurance. It's going to go up. Let's be honest, it's going to go up. So you're going to shop around. So I think we need to be a bit more proactive in our own finances and actually take ownership that this is my money. I have to control it, otherwise it's going to run riot. So
it's funny when, as you were saying this, it just dawned on me that like when you think about it, these companies, they basically prey on your laziness. So they'll give you a good deal, and then when you're coming towards the end of the deal, they hike it, thinking, you'll be low, you'll wait, you're not going to really check, you're not going to be proactive. That's what they're preying on, right? Even like car insurance, like when you mention it, I don't think I've ever received a car insurance quote where it's like cheaper than the previous year. It's always more than the previous year. It's like, okay, but what? I've got my, no claims. It's gone up a bit. Why has it not gone down? So they do prey on your laziness.
100%.
So anyway, what I wanted to ask you as well, the next question I was going to ask you was, what's the boldest financial decision you've ever made and how did it shape you?
Okay, the boldest financial. I was thinking about this one hard because I don't know if it's bold. I suppose it's bold for me. I think the boldest financial decision I made, one's direct and one's indirect. So the most two direct ones was starting to invest and getting on the property ladder as a landlord. Definitely the boldest with the landlord because that was not easy being a landlady. Even just thinking about the memories of it and stuff I had to deal with, it wasn't nice. But it was one of the best decisions I've ever done. Obviously it wasn't in London because London was expensive. But it was one of the boldest decisions that I did, and it really made me grateful for other aspects of my life, especially when it came to investing. I always say this and people are like, really? If I knew what I knew today about investing in the stock market, I wouldn't have bought a property. And people are like, but why wouldn't you bought a property? Like, property was something that I was just told to do. Again, I come from a family of property owners. That's the the rite of passage. You get to a certain age, you save your money, you get a property, whether it's residential or whatever, you get a property, right? So that's what I knew I had to do. Again, investing in the stock market was not something I was taught. Yeah. So you're only going to do what you're taught, right? So I did it. But then after I started learning about investing, obviously I started at 18 and I started before I bought the property. But again, I didn't know what I was doing when I started investing at 18. I just did it because I thought I learned it somewhere and I'm going to do it. But when you think about the amount of money that you need to put down a deposit for property, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I sacrificed a lot to get that deposit. You know, I didn't go out. I was just saving. I got that property when I was like 25 or something. And that's the years when you're outside, you know, living life. I was saving. And I thought the money that I had to come up with, if I put that in the stock market back then, what that would be worth now, I'd be smiling. And bearing in mind, I didn't buy in London. So depreciation is slower in where I bought than in London. Is it slower? London,
because I thought it would catch up like a bit faster because it's outside of London.
They say about 10 years, it doubles, right? They said about 10 years on the property market. Outside of that?
Really? I think at some point it will accelerate.
Well, I'm telling you, it hasn't doubled.
Okay.
And it's been over 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't doubled.
Fine. Okay.
So
I mean, that's your experience. Fair enough. And that's your experience.
And that's one of the boldest financial decisions that I made. And I felt like that money that I put down, well, it's great now because I live in the property now anyway, so it's great. But that money, I would have chucked it in the stock market. I would have been laughing.
I had this conversation on the podcast. Many people I don't think agreed with my sentiment. I think I would have done the same personally, but it's, you know, each to their own. I think it works for whatever you want to kind of do.
At the end of the day, I want somewhere to live.
Yeah,
and that's important. And the fact that no one can run me out of the house that I'm in, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because I can't live with my parents forever. So in hindsight, I would have still done it. But I would have probably put more into the stock market. Because when I started investing at 18, I didn't know what I was doing. I was putting the bare minimum. Oh. And it's only when I got it looked over in my early 20s that someone said, whoa, we need to look at this and change this. And it's like, if I knew what I knew now at 18.
So what we trying to say to the younger people, right? That's what I say to the young
ones. And they're just looking at me like, okay, you're going to wait till you get to my age to... Okay, cool, fine.
It is what it is. They'll learn. They'll find out. Everybody's going to find out when they got to find out. Imagine upgrading to the latest smartphone, better design, faster performance, packed with new features, and your monthly bill actually goes down. That's exactly what Lightyear has just done for people who want to grow their money. I've talked before about Lightyear's clean, easy to use platform and transparent pricing. Now they've gone further, removing trading fees from their stocks and shares ISA. This means you can trade stocks and commission-free ETFs with zero trading fees, making it one of the cheapest ways in the UK to grow your wealth long term. Please note that other fees may apply, like fund manager fees and a flat 0.35% FX fee at a mid-market rate. Lightyear also lets you put your cash to work tax-free, earn 4.2% AR in vaults powered by BlackRock money market funds. Though low risk, vaults are still investments, so your capital is at risk. Yield true as of making this video. Or choose a cash ISA paying 4% AR interest. Also invested in qualifying money market funds. Choose from thousands of international stocks and ETFs, enjoy no monthly fees, and explore investments with clear breakdowns and insights at your fingertips. And with the recent app rebrand, the whole experience feels premium. Adding new AI-powered insights for stock movements and company updates, and you've got everything you need to invest with clarity. Signing up takes just a minute, so you can get started straight away. Try Lightyear using my code SAVVY or follow the link in the description to get up to $115 worth of a US fractional share in your general investment account when you deposit at least £100. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, investing involves risk, and the value of your investments can go down as well as up. So obviously we talked about the reasons why you got into becoming a money coach. When you did start as a money coach, did you feel like there was pressure for you to, look successful financially?
Yeah, 100%. Because I feel, especially in this day and age where everything's on social media, we see with our eyes. And I think it's definitely like a mindset thing. We want to see the proof that's in the pudding. We want to see. No one wants to see with their mind anymore, like what could be possible. Everyone just wants to see with their eye. So if they see you driving a nice car, they automatically be like, okay, you've got a level of success. You have your own house, just dangling the keys. Oh gosh, level of success. You might want to show them your investment portfolio. How much is in there? A level of success. They want to see. But when you got somebody that may have not reached that level yet, but they're working towards it and they're doing all the right things to get them to it, no one wants to listen to you because they're like, well, I can't see it. You're not showing me. So how can I believe you? And the fact that someone will have that train of thought, it's like you've got no belief in yourself then, because you're clearly not at that level, because you're watching the people that you're seeing that are at that level and you think it's not attainable for you. But I'm like the entry level for you to understand, because that person that's got all that money, they're not going to sit down and talk to you for an hour unless you're not going to be able to afford their fee. So it's like,
what they'll charge you is crazy.
Exactly. So if you got someone who's learned from those people, whether it's like I've had a chance to have a talk with them, or I've just watched their content and really applied it to my own life and I'm applying it, then why wouldn't you want to speak to someone at that entry level that's already doing the work? So even when I started, I had some level of success. So it's like, okay, I had my own property that was invested at the time. It was investment property. So I think for some people, like, oh my gosh, you got an investment property. That's amazing. Like, because that's what they want. So they're going to listen to me, right? So I think for other people, it's what they don't have. If they see someone else with it, they will then listen to that person. Right, okay. But if I say, I've got £1,000 in savings, they're like, well, I've got £1,000 in savings. So show me something that I don't know. So again, and that's just the society that we're in. We all want to see it. But then again, I tell you, the people that have the car, people that have the house, they struggle too.
Exactly.
So perception is a big thing.
Exactly, it's a big thing. So how did you deal with that from your point of view?
So when I started, I was like, I can't go about this feeling down in the dumps. I have to go and collaborate with others, because in my field, there was a lot of people coming out of the woodwork doing personal finance. And at first I was like a bit threatened by it. I was like, oh gosh, is anyone going to listen to me? Because I'm black and I'm a woman and I'm young. That's the thing. Age plays a big thing. When they see a young black woman, especially when you look younger than your age, they're like, what do you know? What have you lived? Like, you're not married. You ain't got no kids. What do you know? You don't know about life. And I'm like, I do. So when I saw other people that were coming out of the woodwork as well, and I was like, oh, okay. I was a bit threatened by them. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to them. We're both, I can see that we're both coming out around the same time, COVID time, we're all coming out. So I said, let's just jump on a little Instagram live when it was all the rage back then. And that's what I did. I collabed with so many people that were in my field that would have been told, that's your competition. They do the same thing as you. I said, let's collaborate. And I think that's what we need to do more of. I feel like I'm starting to see it a little bit more. I'm seeing people like collaborate more. And I think it's important because everyone talks about wanting to help the community until it's time to help the community. So it's like, let's actually help each other and work with each other. I think that's important. So that's what I had to do. I had to collaborate instead of seeing people as my competition. Yeah. And that helped.
That's good.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, different mindset is a good mindset to have at the end of the day, 100%. Right? Like, I think and we're going to talk a bit more about it and, that mindset switch. I think imposter syndrome just always exists, right, with people. But if you're giving value and your stuff, which you do, and you're specialist in your stuff, people should listen to you. It's not about, do you look successful? That's not the point of this stuff. Is about transforming your mindset. Yeah, right. But yeah, I do understand like how you would like feel like that. For sure.
That's how I used to be. As I said, like growing up, seeing people in these nice cars and wanting to know what they did and that, because I'm looking at that. I want to know. A lot of them, the cars are not even theirs. It belongs to the company that they work for, or it could be a rental, or So it's like perception's everything.
It is, yeah. So we wanted to talk about obviously the realities of you did financial coaching, right? So when you first left your 9-to-5 to run your own coaching business, right? What picture did you have in your head of what entrepreneurship would be like, and how did that compare to reality for you?
So I knew it would be hard, don't get me wrong, because before doing this, I had several businesses in the past. So I've always been entrepreneurial. So I've had like a food business. I've had so many little different things that I've done that I wouldn't say I failed at it. It's just like I got bored, on to the next one. So I knew that this wouldn't be no easy feat. And the reason why I knew that is because I knew I loved doing this. I knew that if no one paid me, I would still do this because I want to help people. So it was hard. I knew it was going to be hard, and I wasn't really sure how long, because I didn't have in my head that this would be it. Yeah. Because I don't like to be put in a box and being told this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. That kind of scares me. I like to be able to do different things. So when I started it and I realized that this was going really well, I was getting the clients, the momentum was going, I was just like, what's next? Again, sometimes we're never satisfied with just being in the moment. We're like, what's next? And I realized to myself, oh, okay, I've left my job. I've left fashion. I've put it on Instagram that I'm leaving fashion to do finance. Now I've got to back it up because I've told the world, in effect, that this is what I'm going to do. It was hard. because I thought to myself, I'm not just getting up for myself anymore. I'm getting up for the people that I've told online that I'm now going to do this every day. And it was hard. I challenged myself to post every day for 30 days. I did it, but I went mad doing it because I was like, it's a lot. And it was like a challenge. You know, you're in these part of these different groups challenging you to post every day for 30 days or show up and do this. And I'm like thinking this is what you need to do to show people that you're in business. Yeah. But if I don't post on my story for a week, people will be thinking, what happened to Natalie? What happened to Natalie Scott Empowers? And I was like, I can't have that. So it was this pressure to always be seen.
Yeah.
That like be visible. But it's like, you could be visible, but if you're not making any impact, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I kind of got to that stage. I was just like, I'm always showing up online. Hi guys, you know, you're like smiling the screen. And I just felt like, I don't want to do this anymore. And as soon as I started to feel like that, I thought, if I continue doing this, I'm going to fall out of love for what I actually do, which is to help people, not to satisfy an audience on Instagram. It's actually to help clients that book sessions with me. That's what I'm doing this for. So I kind of just stopped posting. I stopped coming up on social media because I was actually in deep working with clients. And I thought, I'm burnt out. Like, I'm working with clients, giving them my all. Then I'm showing up on Instagram, smiling in the camera. So I had to stop. Yeah. And I felt guilty because like I lost followers as well. But now I've realized I don't really care about my following count. That's not what's important. It's just about the work you do and the impact you do. And that can be of a very small audience because my peers around me, they were growing. They were hitting the 10,000, the 20,000. And I'm like celebrating them because I'm not a hater. But I was like, raw, like, what about me? And it made me laugh because then it made me think, am I not doing enough? Like, how come I haven't got the followers? How come I haven't got the visibility? How come I've not been invited to do this? I'm not being invited to do that. Like, have I got like something on my head or something? And again, that was hard. That was really hard for me to understand because I'm an overachiever in things. I've been an overachiever from a very young age. I've probably got issues that I need to work through, but I've always been like that. So everything I put my mind to and I put my hand to, I'm just like, why am I not getting the accolades? Because back then, like a couple of years ago, the follower count was the accolades, right? But now I know what's in my business bank account for me is my accolades. So we're good. But still, I'm not putting my income up online, am I? To show people that I'm good. Yeah. What people see, again, the optics, they want to see the follower count. They want to see that you look like you're living a good life. They want to see all of this. And I'm like, I'm living. I'm living every day. I get up every day. I thank God. And it's like, when I started to see that, I was like, I can't fake it anymore. I can't fake the funk. I can't keep showing up. It's going to burn me out. So now I hid. Okay. I hid away a little bit on social media and I went back into full-time work.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
I went back into full-time work. So
what happened there? What happened there? Because it's interesting. And I think this is why this is a little bit of a different conversation, people. We don't worry. We still got a lot of money conversation. But this is important because this is still related to money anyway as well. Yes. But talk to us about that. Why did you do that?
I was burnt out. Is it burnt out? Yeah, I was burnt out towards the end of last year. Beginning of this year, I went to have a slow year. And the reason why I was burnt out last year as well is because I decided to go back into full-time work. And obviously getting used to running the business and working full-time, very new to me. I've never really done it before. And it was a lot to juggle. The reason I went back into full-time work is because I found that in business, it's not always highs that you're going to have. There's going to be some lows. There's going to be like, oh, not sure where the payment's going to come from. Not sure if I'm able to pay this. There was a lot of that. And I think what happened is that my personal finances suffered. So my business was doing great. And I had stopped paying myself from the business. Like when you have a business, you pay yourself, right? There came a couple of months, I'm not going to pay myself this month because the business is not doing what it needs to do. But then 1 month turned into 2 months and 2 months turned into 3 months. I haven't been paying myself and then living off my other savings. I was like, this is not what I did this for. I didn't run a business to not be able to live my life, not be able to enjoy things, not go on holiday, just live the little niceties that life offers. And I said to myself, my investments were being affected by it because I invest every single month without fail and I've got different investment vehicles. And I thought, now this is and that's what got me. I think when I looked at my investment account and I was like, yeah, no, we've got to get a full-time job because when I was in full-time, and I talk about this a lot, it took me under 3 years to build like a good portfolio of like 5 figures, I think. Yeah, 5 figures. It was really good to do that. And I increase my contributions, all of that. And obviously that still got invested when I left that job. But then I wasn't able to invest as much and I had to skip. And I was like, nah, this is not, although I'm all about present, I'm very much future focused as well. And I thought I need to get a full-time job so I know that my future is taken care of, because right now the business is still in its infancy stage. For me, it's still there. So I thought to myself, okay, I need to get back into full-time. I need to know that that's being taken care of. And then once I got into full-time work and I found that, I was able to increase what I had in originally for my investments, and I was able to put a lot of money aside there, and I was able to go out, and I was able to go on holiday and not say no to everything. It made me a better person. I was a bit burnt out, don't get me wrong. I was a little bit burnt out because of the adjustment, but it made me overall a nicer person because I wasn't worrying about money. Yeah. It brought me back.
Like stability now from going back into the work. It brought me back to
the whole hoarder. And I was like, I don't want to be a hoarder, because obviously I hoarded money. That's why when the business was slow, I was able to dip into hoarder money that was just there, right? But then when I saw that looking a bit weak, I was like, yeah, we're going back into full-time work, because I can't come and myself. I can't do it.
It's brave though for you to do that, because a lot of people wouldn't want to go back into work. And it's the first time I mentioned it, because
no one knows. Everyone online assumes that I'm doing this business full time, because I was at one point, but I've gone back into full time. I've been working full time for a year now. Wow. And it's gone quick. But I've been able to manage it because the job that I'm in is great, where I'm here talking to you. Do you know what I mean? I'm back in London. Like, I have that flexibility with the job that I have, and it pays very well. So I'm not complaining. So for now, it's doing what it needs to do, and I'm able to still come up and talk to my audience as and when. Yeah. Because even though I'm like back in this space where I feel really good, I still don't want to show up online. I only want to show up when I have to. Yeah. And I think that's important with business. It's not just about being seen, like, I'm visible. It's like, are you making an impact though? Because you can keep coming up online and saying hello, but if you're not servicing your clients, you're not doing the things. There's so many things I do in the background, but I just don't talk about it online, because it's like, it's not necessary. You don't have to. When it comes out, it comes out. You'll see it. And whoever wants to follow me, they can. If people don't want to follow me anymore, that's fine. I'm
sure the people that was always there for you are always going to be there waiting for you. And, you know, what do you think people, the ugly side of business, people don't share because they're scared of being judged, especially like online and stuff
when
like
the business is not bringing any money.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a service provider and you are your brand and it's a one-man band, right? Because especially at infancy stages, even when you're in the middle, you could be running, 5+ years and you're still struggling and it's just you. People never want to show when they're going through something ugly. I think the only time they will let you have a glimpse of it is when they've come out of the other end. Yeah. And I'm like, I kind of want to show people the ugly side, but even I get scared to do it. 'Cause I'm like, oh. So what do? I talk to my peers who are in the same industry as me. We have those honest conversations. And when I talk to them and they tell me that they're going through it too, I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just me. Everyone thinks it's just them until they speak to people that get it. And we realize that we're all going through it. Yeah. I've got so many people in my circle that tell me the amount of times they think to get a full-time job or they want to go back to full-time. And with that, even hearing that, it's like, I always think, oh, have I done the right thing? I know I did. But I do think, well, they're still doing it. Like, they haven't succumbed and gone back into full-time work. They're still doing it. And then I feel like, oh, but I've gone back into full-time work. Am I a traitor to myself? Am I a traitor to my dreams? All of this and all that. And I thought, no, I'm not. Because I'm happy. I'm not having to worry about money. Yeah. My 9-to-5 has become my investor again in my business and in other things. So I think people need to really do things that work for them. Don't watch what other people do in your industry. If someone's doing it completely full time and they're running their business and they're successful, you praise them. But for the ones that are working full time and running their business, you praise them too, because that is hard. Both are hard actually. But I think like you have to find a balance that works for you really. Exactly. And for me, I'll be honest, I don't like to admit it, but I do like a little bit of routine. I miss routine. Okay. So and with your
9-to-5, it gave you a bit of routine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because let's be honest, we've been conditioned to routine from school, all these different institutions. Then now going to work 9-to-5, which
that's actually true. Yeah.
9 to 6. You've been so used to it, and then you cut it off and be like, I'm going to run my own business, and you don't have a schedule. You don't know what you're doing. You're sleeping until 12. And I'm just like, it worked for me until it didn't work. Yeah. And now I feel like my life is so fruitful because I have this full-time job that's not your traditional full-time job. I still coach individuals. I still lecture at universities. I'm able to do it all together and have several sources of income. So why am I complaining?
Exactly. And actually, I was going to ask you, right, there is a bit, I do feel like there's this narrative sometimes online, right, that like people may feel like you haven't made it unless you leave your 9 to 5. Why do you think that idea is so powerful and damaging?
It's damaging because it's not necessarily true. I think we have this misconception that you have to leave your job to be a success. And I think it kind of, if I get really deep for a moment, I think it boils down to the whole not having to work for the man.
Yeah.
And like being your own boss.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I get it, but then it's like, if you're working a 9 to 5, that is actually helping you in your business, and it's making you able to sleep at night, and it's enabling you to put money into your pension and look after your future. Why wouldn't you want that? Because a lot of the times when we work in our own business, like I'll be honest, when I left full-time employment and I was working in my business, I wasn't really thinking about my pensions. Obviously I had pensions still there that was still invested, but no more money was going in.
Yeah.
And then I had my own little SIP, but then I decreased what was going into my SIP because I thought, okay, I've got this business to run and there's not money like that. So something takes a hit. So for me, I don't want to say that I was too eager to leave full-time work, but I think for me, that's what I thought you had to do. Like, leave full-time work. Duh, you're running a business now, run your business. Okay. And I waited a year, like whilst I was in business before I left, and I had my savings and I was like, yep, gonna do it. And then a year went and 2 years went and I was like, wait a minute. This is not what I designed in my head. This is not really what I wanted. I want to still live my life and enjoy myself and say yes to many things that I want. So for me now, I feel like I'm in a space where it all works coherently together. Like the job doesn't stress me out. It pays well. I'm able to invest heavily and get closer to my investment goals that I wouldn't have been able to do at this stage in my business if I didn't work full time. So when I started mirroring up those, I was like, this works for me. And it's not for everybody. It's not going to work for everybody. Some people are going to be like, nope, I need to just do the job, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. So it's like your financial life was suffering in a way, right? And then your goals were suffering because you wasn't able to meet it. And then you like looked at it as like, rah, like I'm suffering here. All this is suffering. The standard of living isn't a standard of living right now.
I feel like I went 10 steps back when I used to struggle to save 10 grand a year. I went back to that person. I was like, I'm struggling to save anything. Or when I get to a certain amount, I'm having to dip into it because the business hasn't pulled in, or I'm still waiting for 3-4 invoices. Yeah. And I'm just like, this isn't cool. Whereas now it's like, I have my emergency fund doing really well. I've got a business emergency fund as well. I didn't have that in the beginning because I thought, why do I need a business emergency fund? I've got my personal finances, but separate, guys. So now I've got like a one for that as well. So it's like now I feel a little bit lighter. But there are moments where, again, if business is not pulling in what it should be, I have my full-time job to fall back on.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's sometimes I look at the business account, certain contracts have ended. You know, you getting that money each month into your business account. Certain contracts have ended. Not everything gets renewed. And I'm looking at that account and I'm like side-eyeing it, like it's going down every single month. Like every single month, money's got to come out of that account. But not every minute money goes in. So now I'm like having to reassess, and I'm having to be quite bold in like new contracts that come about, and just like speaking to yourself, speaking to other people, charging what you think you might get and a little bit more, like being a bit more bold in those areas. And that's why when certain opportunities come my way, if it doesn't make sense, I'm happy to walk away from it. Like, I'm happy to walk away from it, no matter who it is, what brand it is. It could be good for me, but if it doesn't do anything for my pockets, my business account, it's not aligned next time. And I'm happy to walk away from it.
I wanted to ask you this question, but I feel like you might have answered it, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What's one financial truth you only understood after returning back to full-time work? Because now you've been on both sides and now you're doing both together.
Oh, well, one financial truth is you can build wealth working a 9 to 5. And I feel like a lot of people feel like you can't build wealth working a 9 to 5. Again, I don't know where it comes from, what they've been taught, or they only feel like you can only be successful, you only can build wealth if you've got your own business. Because, you know, you can like, I don't know, have a physical business, like generational wealth, etc. But I'm like, you can actually build wealth in your 9 to 5. And I feel like that's how most people are building their wealth these days. Maybe people are not talking about it openly, but I know more people that have built wealth in their 9-to-5s than people that have their own business. Because most people that I know that have their own business, they're at the same stage as me. Or we're at the similar ages. They're not like retired their parents or retired themselves. They're still working hard. But the people that work 9-to-5 that have investment accounts over 100K, oh yeah, they're on their way to wealth. So
that's true.
You can do it.
That is very true.
It shouldn't be looked down on at all. I used to look down on it because, again, my family, most of them are self-employed. So I just thought, oh yeah, work for yourself. Like, that was drilled into me, which is why I was so quick to leave my full-time job and just do this business. But I didn't realize that this is actually hard. You've got to literally find work yourself. And I've been like bitten by people as well. I've been burnt by many people whereby they haven't read a contract properly. They said this didn't happen, and they haven't paid me, or they've paid me very little. I've actually had to sever ties with someone that I thought was like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I had to sever ties with them because they were like, actually, now that you've said that, we didn't see that in the contract and we're going to now charge you this. I'm like, what? So it's like those things have actually happened that I'll talk about it, but I won't name them. But it's like things like that happens. That happens to a lot of people. Again, when you're not sure about things, you're not sure how to do things. Now, every time stuff comes my way, I know who to call on, I know who to talk to. I've got people in my arsenal that can help me. So it's like, again, there's those teething stages when you're in a business and like maybe not knowing what you should do or how to structure things. And if things get looped through, if they're a bit crafty, they've got the right hand. So
yeah,
all those things happen.
Gosh. On the 9-to-5, talking about building wealth in 9-to-5, what wealth building opportunities do people often overlook in a 9-to-5, and how can they make their job work for them beyond just, the paycheck?
Well, your workplace pension, like 100%. Even to this day, I still have people that come out of it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And you know what it is? A lot of them don't understand how it works. Like, they don't understand what a workplace pension is. They don't understand that it's for their long life retirement. And I'm just like, why are you... I want the money now. So they don't understand. Some of them still don't understand the concept. I don't know what's going on. So I think workplace pensions is amazing, and just increase it. A lot of people just like, oh, I'm paying X amount already, let me just leave it alone. But it's like, if you increase it by 1 or 2%, it will make such a big difference in the long term. So just do that. And even like for yourself, workplace pensions are great, don't get me wrong. But if you're someone that may want a different kind of lifestyle, you may want to retire sooner, you may have more money to play with, then I'm like, why don't you just have your own investment account, like a stocks and shares ISA, which you have complete control over. And if you want to retire early, you just put more money in it to get to it. Like, work backwards, see how many years you need. I think many people don't do that. And it's again about being proactive. Obviously, I was a nosy child. So for me, I'm always want to look at how can I do this? How can I do that? And I kind of sought that information for myself. But I think a lot of people have just become a bit conditioned just to like follow the steps, go to work. Okay, I'll pay into my workplace pension, but I'm not going to do anything else than that. It's like, well, don't you want more to life? Don't you want to have more? Because the thing is, we all talk about now, people talk like they're not going to live till like, I don't know, 80, 90 years old. We're living longer. True. And I feel sorry that a lot of people, when they get to that age and they realize what's in their retirement pot and they realize that they can't retire, that's going to be a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, which is why we're trying to do the work we're trying to do so that in the future, a lot less people have to get to retirement age and they're like, I ain't got a pension, or my pension's not enough for me.
I've seen it. People that I know, like people that are coming to retirement, they can't. Yeah, they've got no money. Yeah, got no pension because everybody thinks, oh, I've got a lot of time. Life happens. Time goes fast.
Time goes fast. Quick. Goes fast.
I think as soon as I hit 25, it just went. After that, it just went, and I was like, what? 10 years have gone by. It goes just quick. Like that.
And if you don't think it's important to you, you're always just gonna put it off next year. Until we get to, oh my God, like I'm 5 years away from retirement, what happened?
When I have more money, everyone does that. Oh, when I earn more money. No, when you earn more money, you're just gonna spend more.
Exactly. So you think pensions, stocks and shares ISA. So what about property? ISA. What's your thoughts on it? Because obviously, I when I made my random occasional appearance on Instagram stories, I was talking about property actually and why it's actually important. So I don't know if we're going to mention other podcasts on here, but Stephen Bartlett,
he always gets these people on that talk about, oh, don't buy a property, rent. Like rent is good for who it's good for. If you're a businessman or businesswoman and you travel a lot, you may not want a property right now, a residential property, right? You may see the benefits of renting, but hand on heart, if you still ask 100 people, I'm pretty sure 99 of them are going to tell you that they would like to have a residential property. They would like to own a property.
Yep.
So I think ownership is very, very important, especially if you're in like some really good real estate areas, like big cities, you know, or up and coming towns.
Yeah.
Why not? And even if it's not residential, it can be a,
investment property.
Thank you. It could be an investment property. So I think property is important. As much as I say, if I knew what I knew back then about investing, I would have put all my money in the stock market. I'm still glad that I bought a property, because if I didn't buy a property then, I don't know if I could be able to buy a property now.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think it is important to have at least your own property. I think that is like, I would say almost vital. You just don't know what the future's going to be like, right? At the end of the day.
And you've got
it's
so many
important to do that.
options as well. Yeah, you may not get the liquid as quickly as you want, but that's why it's an investment. You plan for these things. And I think deep down, everyone would like their own home. I just couldn't think of anything worse. Someone telling me, oh, here's your notice, you got to leave. I couldn't think of anything worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's important to have something that you own 100%. And again, some people want to wait for marriage. Some people want to wait until they have a family. Regardless of whether you want to wait or not, I still think it's something that you should consider.
Yeah. So over 70% of people who watch these episodes are subscribed. If that's you, hit the subscribe button. It really supports the channel. It helps it grow. And most importantly, lets us keep bringing you valuable conversations like this one. Plus, you'll be the first one to know when new episodes drop. Thank you so much for your support so far, and enjoy the rest of the show. So like going back to, obviously we're talking about people building wealth for their 9 to 5. Let's say, okay, somebody's got their salary coming in, right? Let's say after, I'm making a huge assumption here. Let's say, let me do it small. Let's say after everything's paid, they've got all the expenses, they got 500 left at the end of the month. How do they apportion that for each of these things that we're talking about? So how do they apportion it for, obviously let's not talk about the pension, because let's assume that's already been taken out. But how do they apportion it for like stocks and shares and thinking about like property?
I think it depends on what's important to them at the time. So if they want to get somewhere quicker, they might want to put more into that. So if it's the fact that they're trying to save up for a deposit for a property, out of that 500, you might want to put 300 towards it. And then if you got the £200 left over, and if we're looking at property and like, I don't know, your stocks and shares, ISA of some sort. Yeah. So again, you may want to put £300 towards the property and then £200 towards the stocks and shares ISA. I think however you divide it, it has to be based on time. So again, a lot of people ask the question of, oh, should I buy a property first before I start investing in the stock market? And I'm a person, I'm always going to say do both, but I understand not everyone can. So for you, it's like, what's on your priority list? Is it to get a property? If it is, put all of it. Yeah. If that's what you want to do, put the whole £500 and save vigorously until you get the amount that you need. And once you've done that, start investing, because I'm hoping if this person's working a 9 to 5, they've already got your workplace pension anyway doing their thing, aren't they? Yeah. So it's like, I'm talking about outside of your workplace pension. So if you want to save up for property and that's your priority, do that first. I'm the type of person, it's like, oh, save and paying down debt. I'm doing both because I think, imagine like for me, I can't think of anything worse of like putting all this money towards paying down a debt and I've paid it all off and I've got nothing to show for it. All I've got to show is that it's paid off. You got to do a little, even just a little £5, a little something. I'm even doing the penny challenge with Monzo.
Is it? Was that daily?
Oh, yeah, and it doubles every day and it's getting on my nerves now. Okay, it's getting on my nerves now because now it's on £1.80 odd and it's an 81, 82, 83. And I'm like, oh, wow. Because obviously, this is the funny thing. With my Monzo, I keep it very low. The balance is low deliberately because it's not my main account. It's the money that I divvy apart. So it's just divvied money in different pots. I'm like, oh, no, I need to put money for that. But it's just a good way to make it exciting. Like when they take it and I look at the balance already and I'm like, oh, this ends in January 26 and the balance is looking healthy already. It's exciting. I feel like we have to make saving fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's why these penny challenges do exist.
That's quite a cool challenge. Yeah.
They do.
Is that how you
reason.
would suggest to somebody if it was difficult for them to save, they should do something like that?
Something like that. Okay. Just anything, what it is, could be anything that you can afford, because affordability is a big thing. I feel like when we talk about saving and investing, the rebuttal I get, cost of living, blah, blah, blah. I was like, but you buy cigarettes because you like to smoke. That's something that's a non-negotiable for you. So why isn't your future non-negotiable for you? Why isn't your long-term savings a non-negotiable for you? So I think people will save for what's important for them, and they will buy what's important for them.
Yeah. And
I feel like when we have these money conversations, some people take it on board and be like, understood. But other people just be like, I don't want to be told what to do and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, but okay, 20, 40 years time, we'll see. Because we're here to help the people. And
100%.
I always say, I just want to see everybody win. I just want to see everybody win. And it's like, you can just do these little steps. It doesn't have to be a lot, but get to the habit of just putting something aside that's locked away. So I've had an emergency fund, right? And I always talk about an emergency funds. I love them. But I'll be honest, I'm human. I've dipped into it many times for things that weren't emergencies. And I thought to myself, I can't keep doing this. So what have I done? I've moved it to an account that I don't even know the login details for. You know, ones where you I forgot the login. I leave it in that account. I know the bank details. So every month money goes in and it's great. And it's a great investment. I think it's get like 4% interest on it as well. Daily accrued interest. And I get a little notification, but I don't know the login. So when the emergency does come and I need to actually go into it, I'll reset the password, get the login and get the money that I need. But I've had to do that because I know the kind of person I've become.
Okay, I get it.
You know what I mean?
You've put in that fail-safe for you. So people need to figure out what their guardrails are. And you're right. Like I am one of those people, like you mentioned several bank accounts. I will have several bank accounts for different things because I just think that's just what you kind of do. So, you mentioned like, in terms of even like people struggling to save, so I really appreciate the penny challenge, because you're right. Like if it's £500 and let's say you divide it by 30, it makes it more manageable for you as well. Even just the like budgeting, what's a general budgeting rule that people should follow for themselves? Because I know that we've got the generic ones, but for themselves, how do you figure like how much to budget,
because I feel like everyone's budget, everyone's income,
it's different.
It's going to be different. So like the generic ones, I don't think they're great. Like the different rules, 50, 30, 20 rule, I don't agree because they're outdated. So I think instead of put that to one side, how much, I always say this. So if you're a basic rate taxpayer, for instance, so it's like 20%, right? Goes towards the government. So I kind of use that rule of thumb and be like, okay, why don't you pay 20% for yourself? Like pay yourself first 20%. That 20%, if you're working obviously full time, you've already got your workplace pension that comes out. But that 20% can either go towards debt that you have. It can go towards either short-term savings, long-term savings, or a separate investment account that you have. I think we need to get into the habit of like thinking of either a figure that sits comfortable with us that we can do every single month. So 20%. I think divide things up. So for me, I don't mind sharing this because people laugh at me, but I don't know what people spend like for fun, right? Recently, I introduced a fun fund. I think I've had it for about 2 years now. Every month, £200 goes in there. Some months I have to get robbed from Peter to pay Paul, but mostly £200 gets me what I need to do. And sometimes I have a bit left over, so it just rolls over to the next month. So that's something that I've had to put in place, because when I don't have something like that, I'm just going to keep spending. And because we don't take money out of a bank anymore, we're just tapping away. So we kind of lose the connection between money because we're just tapping. So I literally take £200 and it sits into my fund. Yeah. And every time I want to buy something, it will come out of there and I'll just transfer it over. And for some people might be like, that is very laborious. Why do you want to do that? I said, it works for me. You have to find what works for you. And I find it fun. And when I look at the 200 I've just put in the account, I'm looking at it already, it's like 140. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, you need to rein it in. Because that 140 now has to last for the rest of the month. Some people take that 200 and split it £50 a week. I can't do that. That's a bit too restrictive. So I just leave the £200 for the month. And as soon as I see it looking a bit, I start questioning, okay, relax, Natalie. You don't need to go online. And that's what I do. But that's what I do. It works for me. But people need to know what works for them. If £200 is too small for you, make it 300, make it 400, whatever's comfortable and works within your budget. Put that aside and be like, this money is just for me to do whatever I want, fun and enjoy. I feel like we don't do that enough. And what's happened is we're just spending and then we wonder, why we have no money by week 2.
Yeah. 2 questions for you. From a mindset point of view, why do people spend like that? And the follow-up question to that is, why is it important for people to segment like that? Like, why does it help you even like from a mental health point of view?
Yeah. I think the mindset, it could be many different things it stems from. It's always going to stem from childhood. So whatever you saw growing up, it could be that you had a family that just spent very frivolously, that didn't really think about the consequences of overspending. Maybe, you know, everyone had a little secret credit card. Maybe your family spent, but you didn't know they were in debt because they always had the money to pay for things, but they were secretly using a credit card. So I think sometimes when we see that in our own lives, and obviously our parents, when they were earning, they weren't earning how we're earning much more. So it's kind of like, well, why can't I spend like that? Like, or I've lived in a family where it was very restrictive. We didn't have enough. We didn't have a lot of money. I couldn't get the things that I wanted to get. So now I'm earning in my big job and I'm earning decent money. Yeah, I've got rent that I pay, which is ridiculous, but it's my right to enjoy. It's my right to have fun. So they're just spending without actually looking at the consequences. A lot of people don't care. People are up to their eyeballs in their overdraft and they do not care. They don't understand. And I think it does stem from what they've seen growing up. I had someone that contacted me and said, I think there was something going on with overdrafts where the banks had to give back some money because they were overcharging people with the interest. So they were giving back checks. And the check that she was going to get back would pay off her overdraft and she would be at 0 and have like £300 left. And she was like to me, Natalie, should I, with the money they're going to give me, do you think I should pay off my overdraft or should I just like keep it? Pay off your overdraft. Because if you don't pay it off and you get all that money, you're still going to be in the overdraft. And this money that you've gotten back is because of the charges that they've illegally charged you. But again, mindset to even ask me that question, for me, it's a no-brainer. But I know that everyone had a different start in life. For some people, it's like the survival tactic of like, I've got children to look after. This money would go towards that, but I've got a situation over here that I'm ignoring. So, and that's why it's so important to talk to someone that is in that field because they can make you see. And it was a hard conversation. It wasn't just easy do that. It was like back and forth, like a challenge. But that's why I feel like we need to talk more openly about it because I know that she wouldn't have had that conversation with anyone else. There's a reason why she had it with me because I'm not going to judge her. And plus I work in that field of working with people, coaching. If she spoke to a friend, one, she wouldn't speak to a friend. And I feel that's what it is. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about our struggles. So I think that's the reason why. Yeah. And then what's your follow-up?
The follow-up question. Why is it important for people to you know, like things like you mentioned, like, what do you say? Spending...
the different separating your finances.
Yeah, separating your finances. And why is that good for somebody to do? Like the positive sides of it, because people always think about it negatively, but from a money mindset point of view, why is that it's good clarity. For you short and long term?
It's clarity. You see me, I don't like chaos. I don't like going into a messy room. I don't want to go into a room and there's things on the floor. That's how I look at my finances. When I see like a big chunk of money in my bank account, it annoys me. I need to separate it. I need to be like, that's for this is for that. I like to give my money purpose. I like to tell my money what to do. And if I put it in a pot or a space, I know it's going to stay there until I need to deal with it. And I think why it's so good because I think maybe because I'm an organized person as well, but I think for mindset, it's like clarity. It feels like you've got breathing space over your finances and it's just a more enjoyable experience. Yeah, it might be hard when you do it initially because it's like you're not used to it. You're used to your money just like being there and you just tapping away, but it will be restrictive when you do it for the first time. It will be restrictive because you're going to be like, I've only got this amount of money. You're telling me I only can spend this amount of money. But when you start living within that and start conditioning yourself to live within the means of that amount, it will become easier. Yeah. I feel like a lot of us don't do it. I know my sister doesn't. And I try to tell her all the time, like, you need to do it. But again, her brain is very different from mine, but she's still able to live within her means. Whereas with me, I'm quite, maybe this is how I am, very like regimented. I do like a spreadsheet. I do a wealth date. But for me, that relaxes my mind. I look forward to doing a wealth date. I get very excited. I play my favorite music. Yeah, I love it. And I just like, this is going to go there. This is going to go there. And I get excited when payday comes or when the pay slip comes in, I'm already organizing where the money's going to go. Because sometimes I get paid differently each month. So it's quite exciting if you get a bit more in your paycheck. And I'm like, what can that go towards? Not what I can spend and buy. Like, what investment account am I going to put it in? Because I'm so future focused. I do still have fun, by the way, guys. I do have fun. But for me, it's like, I see the importance of investing.
Yeah. And can you walk us through how your wealth building actually accelerated after a return to a full-time job and still continuing your business?
100%. It accelerated because I put a lot more money in it each month, which I didn't need to, because the kind of pension I have with work is defined benefit, which is rare.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with that. But I don't just rely on that, because who says I'm going to stay within this company, right? I might just go full-time in my business again. Like, you don't know. But while I am here and I'm earning decent money, I'm going to put as much money as I can into my investments. And we give AI a bad rap sometime, but ChatGPT has been my good friend, because I thought to myself, I don't need to sit down and speak to an advisor about this because I know what I'm doing, but I need to input what I've got going on in my different investment accounts to ChatGPT and ask it, am I doing the right things? How can I maximize it so I have X amount by the time I retire? If I want to retire in 20 years time, what would that look like? And by doing that, it's giving me some really solid numbers. And now I'm working towards those numbers. And I wouldn't have even been in that headspace if I was working in my business full time. Okay. Because I'm working full time and the money's decent, and it's like, I've got all this money, I need to make the most out of it. So I think we need to, again, I'm always going to say it, we need to be proactive. If you want, the fact that we've got like this technology out there that can actually help us, use it to your advantage and then make a plan for yourself. You can even go on and be like, create a budget plan. You don't have to do it yourself anymore or buy one from me. You can actually create one yourself that works for your personality. If you've got ADHD, there's so many things that will be able to keep your attention. Because I understand someone that's got ADHD might not want to look at a spreadsheet, let alone create one. So you have to find what works for you.
Yeah, there's things you could use apps if you want to use it to like calculate what you're doing.
100%.
And so obviously you mentioned investing and you're an advocate for it. And so I wanted to get your thoughts. What would you say are the first steps to start investing when you finally have, breathing space financially?
So the first steps, aside from obviously your 9 to 5, because that's kind of all done for you. The first steps would be like, okay, how old are you? When do you want to retire? And if it's like, well, I'll wait for retirement age, good luck. But if you want to retire within a certain amount of time, work it out, whether it's 40 years from now, and then work backwards. And when I say work backwards, so how much would you need to invest each month to get to a comfortable number for your retirement? Once you have all those numbers down, and again, AI is your best friend if you need a bit of help. Once you get that part done, okay, now it's like, where am I going to invest my money? You want to pick a platform. And there's so many different platforms out there. Yeah. The only thing I will say, without giving like any exact ones, I'll just say you want like a one with the lowest platform fee on it, and then obviously then the lowest fund fee. So you pick a platform that's got a low platform fee, then you look at the different funds that are in there, and as long as they track maybe the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, whatever it is, you just want to have a good index that tracks something, right? And then once you pick that, then you need to be like, okay, I've still got my ISA allowance of £20,000. I haven't used it. Let me find a decent stocks and shares ISA. Because that's the thing. You want to make sure that the platform that you're picking has ISAs. Not every platform has an ISA. A lot of them are just normal general investment accounts. So you want to invest within a stocks and shares ISA first. And you pick that. It's an easy 3-step. Platform, fund, ISA wrapper, done. Put money in each month, leave it alone. Do not look at it.
Don't log into your account. I would suggest that people shouldn't. Actually, from a money mindset point of view, again, you talking about the mindset point of view, for people that are going to start investing, what can they expect from an investing point of view? What's that experience going to be like? It's
going to be boring.
Okay.
It's going to be a boring experience. It's not exciting. We're not trading, guys. We're just for the long haul. Investing is very, very, very boring. And I think like people expect it to be something more, which is why they're quite shocked, or they think that you have to do all these different steps that you have to do. And it's like, it's actually really easy. And that's what I'm saying. Building wealth can be boring, and it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. Don't you want one less thing to worry about? I know I do. So I think if you want to look at your investment account, I say maybe once a year, twice a year, if that. When I first started, I was looking at it all the time because I was excited, 18-year-old starting investing. It wasn't doing much. But now I'll leave it for a few months and just look at it and be like, cool. I might look at it and be like, oh, what more can I invest in it? But I say leave it alone. It's very boring. Don't expect anything. Depending on what you're investing in, they say the average maybe 7 to 10%, but that will be eaten up by the fees that you have to pay. That's what I'm saying. Keep your platform and your fund fee as low as you can. But it's really simple. As long as you're getting on average of 7 to 10% a year, that shows you it's working. Just keep putting into it and just leave it alone. And just when you get a little pay increase it.
And increase it as well.
Don't just leave it at that amount. Yeah. Increase it. It's definitely working for you. So increase your contribution.
Okay. So it's about calculating the age where you want to retire, seeing how much you will need at that age. Yeah. So if it's like you're trying to retire in 20 years, how much... in 20 years, how much would you need by that age? Let's say it's like 40 or 20 or whatever, and then you'll need to know how much you can grow it by in that 20 years, right? Which makes sense. And then in the investing part, like, you know, because when I first started, right, I'm just trying to remember what was available. I don't know if some of the platforms that I used, there wasn't as many platforms as they are now. Correct. And I feel like the platform fees are going down, which is good. Because they used to be high. Yeah. Some of them. Apart from some of the big players, they were all right, but some of them were quite like expensive. But you know where the minefield for me, when I remember getting into funds, was picking your fund. That was tough. Is there any guidance where people can like where they can maybe do more research and figure out, okay, what works for me, what I'm interested in?
I would say with funds, they can be quite daunting if you're unsure. Even when I first started, because there's so many when you think about it, and especially when you're on a platform that has,
it's got some
like different, and then like for example, Vanguard, right? They have their own funds, but then you might go onto a platform that's not Vanguard that will have Vanguard funds. So it all can be confusing. And you look at like the S&P 500 and there's so many different variations. Like I won't bore anyone or confuse anyone, but there's so many. So for me, I always look at whatever fund you're looking at. What I think you need to be looking at is the equity to bond split, because all of them will have the split. And the younger you are, your equity split should be bigger than your bond split, right? Because your bonds is like your safe government bonds, you know, you're borrowing to or lending to the government, you know, sure you're going to get it back. Your equities, they're more the trickier ones, right? So you want to make sure that split is bigger on the equity side. Now, obviously, as you're nearer to retirement, you don't want to be taking the risk and having a bigger equity split than you do a bond split. So you may want to change that. But what might actually help, because some people are still confused by it, and I get it, because there's different kind of funds. You may want to do the actual quiz. Because with most of the sites they do like a risk assessment for you. So they ask you how old you are, when you're planning to retire, and they will work out what your split should be. And then based on the split, they will give you the different funds that have those splits. So I would say it's more so equity to bond. And most, like if we look at the S&P 500, for example, it is equity heavy. Then there are bonds. So it literally just depends. It's really hard sometimes, and sometimes you just have to sit down and talk to someone. That's what I had to do when I didn't understand it. But I mean, there are so many people online that talk about it. There's so many books
read
out
about
there
it,
as well.
do your research. Always do your research. You have to. I think it has to be important. And you know, as an investor yourself, like you say, it's boring and it's supposed to be boring. But in terms of just that long-term mindset, what kind of conversation do you have with your clients about this is long-term, let's be calm, let's be relaxed,
don't check it, because they will come to me with, there's a big something in the news, anything in America going on, it might have a little effect, just a little effect, and they might get a notification. I'm like, why is your notifications on for the investment account? Like, you don't need to be knowing that it's gone down, or why have you checked it? Like, I've told you, this is not a get rich quick situation. This is something that you're going to have for a very long time, a couple of decades. So you do not need to be checking it. I think that's what it is. It's like that culture of the now culture and having something at the palm of your hand, especially now a lot of them are moving into apps. I think Vanguard might be the only one that hasn't got an app yet. Yeah. But I think they're going to get one soon. Probably, so it's like, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, it's like palm of my hand, I can see it. And it's like, well, out of sight, out of mind. So you don't need to look at it. And if it does have an app, delete the app. You don't need to. I've got my investments ones. They've all deleted now. They all have apps. I've deleted it. If I kept checking it, just like, you know, look, especially like every couple of months. Look. I just deleted it because the only time I need to access it, I will just go onto my laptop, but I don't. Yeah. That's good. I don't need to look at it.
You don't need to be in a noise.
Every month.
Yeah.
Every month. And when I do look at it, I get a nice little surprise because I haven't looked at it in a while. I'm like, that looks healthy.
And what do you think that does for somebody's mentality?
It calms you down. There's so many things that we have to look at. There's so many things we have to check. For instance, like when we talked about car insurance, that's something I'm on top of. So every year I'm checking that. Home insurance on top of that. Yeah. And then, you have to do the home insurance. You're doing a different application. Then you got to remember the year of the property. All these things, what kind of windows, it's so much things we have to like keep on top of. So these are one of the things where I'm like, relax. It's set up. It's done for you. You don't have to keep checking on it. Maybe once a year, if that. Yeah. But I think that gives anyone a bit of like calmness. For me, it does, because it's one less thing I have to worry about. There's so many other things I have to do. You know what I mean? So for me, it's simple. Leave it alone. Yeah.
So it's, as you say, investing doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be tense. Unless you want it to be. It doesn't have to be tense. You can keep it relaxing for yourself. And for those people that are, let's say, they're a bit hesitant about investing because they've heard, people lose money or they think it's a scam and stuff like that, what would be your message?
I would say those people that are losing money are not investing long term. They can't be. Those are people that are trying to time the market, trying to make a quick buck. Those are people that are trading, because I know a lot of traders and I've lost money working with them in the past when I was like, oh, want to make some money. No, I didn't know. And that's what a lot of people do. When I speak to them about investing, they reply. I'm like, oh no, you're talking about trading. I'm not talking about that fast life. I'm talking about something that is slow and steady. The tortoise will win the race. So I'll say just relax. You don't, not for you.
It's important. I wanted to talk about the balance of, because as much as I talk about investing, I also don't want people to sacrifice the now, right? So how do you get that balance right and try to not be too future focused and try and enjoy now, enjoy your life. Finances now and stuff like that?
I enjoy life. So for me, it's all about experiences. When I was younger, I was very materialistic. I blame my dad. He's got nice things. I want it too. Everything my dad had, I wanted. And I spoke about this before, like my dream car, and I got it. And it was like the smaller version to my dad. So I'm a daddy's girl through and through. And then I realized to myself, like when this all goes, what do you have left? It's all material. So for me, experiences. I spend money on experiences. I will go on holiday, and holidays are not cheap. When I think about it, and this is the problem, sometimes I think about money and holidays, I'm like, I'm spending like near to $5,000 on this holiday, which includes the holiday and the spending money and everything else in between. That $5,000 could have gone into my investment account. But I'm like, but this holiday is going to bring a really good experience. And I'm going to video it so I don't forget it either. And I feel like when I think about stuff like that, because I love traveling, I'm like, I'm not going to give up. That's my non-negotiable. I'm going to travel. So I may not have a fancy car anymore because I got rid of it. And now I drive like a old beat up Toyota. But it's like, I drive that and I smile knowing that my investment accounts is where it needs to be. I get to go on a number of holidays each year. I'm not being precious about where I park my vehicle in case someone scratched it. Couldn't care less. And that took a while to change my mindset. Because again, that whole success, what does success look like? I thought, driving the convertible, that was successful. I looked the part because people saw it and I didn't have to say anything. People assumed. But now it's like, I'm rich in mind. A lot of people, again, it's like what people see, but I'm rich in mind because I've got everything that I need set up around me. And it's like, if all else fails, I've got that. Yeah. And a lot of people don't have that. And I'm trying to get people to the point of what's actually important.
Yeah. And it's important. That's the thing. Like, social media, I feel like can put a lot of pressure on people because they feel like they need to be at a certain level, 100%. And social media only shows one side, just the positive to positives. Like you say, somebody could have all this nice stuff, but you don't know how they acquired it, right? And it's a good thing that they have it. It's all good, right? But sometimes, if it's all your peers and you're like, oh, I'm behind. So how can you protect yourself from, because it can make you spend more than you need to, and that you can actually really start going underwater. So how can you protect yourself from, the feeling's going to be there. That goes without saying. You can't really control that. But how can you protect the urge to be like, oh, I need to just put myself underwater just to keep up and drown?
I think it goes back to why. That question, why? Why are you doing it? And I know it's hard because in the moment people just act. They don't really think. But I'm like, do you need to go to this place? Why do you need to go? Is your friend still going to love and care for you if you don't go? Likeness, yes. So you don't have to always be everywhere. That whole fear of missing out, please, I beg. The next weekend will still be there. You can go out the next weekend. And I think it's like, is your why big enough to protect you from now? Because if your why is not big enough, then of course you're going to go out and be like, oh, YOLO, I'll figure it out the next week or the next paycheck. But for me, and again, it will take a while to get there, but your why has to be big enough. Like if you know you want a great future, then you have to sacrifice things. I feel like, again, I say, oh, you can save and you can invest, or you can save and you can pay down debt. But sometimes you just got to invest, and sometimes you just got to pay down the debt and not have fun for a bit. Sometimes you got to have a season of like putting your head down and be very honest with your friends and family. Be like, guys, just 6 months, I'm just going to be head down for a bit. I'm only going to come out if it's a birthday of significance. I'm not. Be honest. I feel like we don't have these conversations enough. I'm hearing, literally just happened the other day. I was speaking to a friend and she said how she's fallen out with someone over the fact that they couldn't afford to actually go to their birthday and they borrowed the money to attend her birthday.
That's
and I'm
mad.
like, why couldn't that person just say that they can't do it? Like
Because
I've missed out.
Feel, you know.
I've missed out on birthdays that were abroad. When I was working in my business full time, I knew I couldn't afford that. I was like, listen, babes, this business, it's not paying. I can't go on holiday. And they get it. And there's no love lost. You make up for them another way. You give them a nice gift, or you just say like, sorry, you can't make it. Here's your birthday card. That's it. And I feel like friendships, family, it's a big thing. We need to speak up more about money. I feel like it's that whole, we can't tell people we're struggling. Everyone's struggling. Hello. Everyone is struggling. I'm sorry to shout. Everyone is struggling. We are all living the same life. We're all in the UK. We see what's happening. Everyone is struggling. People will understand if you can't make it. Better still, I don't even live in the city that I grew up on, so I can get away with a lot of things, to be fair. I'm like, oh, work, it's too far, or I'm not going to come to London just for that. Yeah. But even aside from that, I'm very honest with my friends and family. Be like, can't do it, sorry.
Yeah. But I know you say that, but then how can people deal with the ego of, because at the end of the day, right, this is all ego driven, let's be real, right? So how does one deal with the ego and, be a bit more brave to be like, look, this is my financial situation. I can't really afford this. Or it might not even be I can't afford this. I've got goals I want to try and do. I want to reach financial freedom. That's what I'm saying, like, blah, blah, blah.
If your why is big enough and you're passionate about it, speak about that then. Don't speak about the money. Okay. Don't make it
speak about what you're trying to achieve.
Don't make it about, oh, I can't afford this, or I'm going through financial difficulty. Don't make it about that. Because people don't care. Like, that's hands up. Everyone's going through their own stuff. But if you make it about like the why, like, oh, I've got this going on, I'm trying to do certain things, or, I'm really passionate about something, I need to focus on, use certain words, I need to focus on X, Y, Z just for a little while, but, we'll roll back in. Like, I think we have to be very clever with our words, because, again, it's hard to even answer, because I'm so far past that now and how I deal with things, but I understand that people
How did you get to that yourself? That's what I want to hear that.
I was a people pleaser.
Okay.
I was a people pleaser for the longest time. I would say yes to things that I knew I couldn't go to. But the only difference with me, say the day before, I'd cancel on them. And I kept doing it. And my friends that are watching this were like, yeah, I remember, Natalie, because I did that. And then one of them, like, and this is the thing, talk up to your friends as well. One of them pulled me up. And she was like, Natalie, you always do this. You always say you're going to do something, you're going to come, you're excited. And then a couple of days before, you cancel. And she said, I'm not here for it. I was like, right, like, she's told me. And again, I feel like you should be able to have these conversations with your friends. If they feel like someone's done something wrong, you should be able to pull them up nicely. And she did. And it made me second guess. So now when people invite me to stuff, I don't respond straight away, because I'm always on my phone. So if someone messages me and I'm on my phone, I'm going to respond. And I always felt like I had to respond, people pleasing. But I noticed that other friends that were in a group chat, other friends take a day to respond, take an hour to respond, but I'm responding within a minute. I'm like, rah, don't have a life. So I thought, don't respond straight away, because when you respond straight away, you're responding from fear, because I want to be there, right? So I just say yes. And then an hour later, I'm like, why did I respond? Why did I say that? So now I even with emails, if I get an email that I don't like, or someone sent me a voice note that I don't like, I don't respond straight away anymore. Because if I respond straight away, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be rude. It's not going to actually be me. It's going to be me in the moment. But, you know, like clarity, like afterwards, I shouldn't have said that. So now I wait. Okay. And I'll be honest, I can't make it. So I think delayed response. Don't think you have to reply straight away. And even if you're online and they can see that you're online, okay, I'm busy. Don't be watching me. You know, like respond. I'm busy, don't be watching me. Respond when you can. Yeah, I think that's really important. And that's how I got there, because I was the biggest people pleaser. I'd be like breaking my neck for people, and no one did it for me. But that's just who I am. And then you so do you think that moment that you had with your friend stopped you from being a people pleaser? Because if she didn't tell me, I would have kept doing it. You would have kept on doing it. But the fact that she said, Natalie, I noticed that you do that a lot, and I'm like, that's good. Yeah. You see, this is why we need to talk to our friends and have intervention, because people like to skirt around stuff and don't want to tell their friends, but them telling you helps you. And the thing is, my sister's the opposite. Yeah. So where I'm a people pleaser, she's not. She's like, I'm not going. And I'm like to her, you have to go. That's how I am to her. I was like, we have to go. Like, this is our friend's child. We have to go. She's like, no, I don't. And I love her for it, because I'm not like that. I will break my neck to this day to an extent. If it's a child, I'm going. Because obviously I don't live in London, innit? I'm coming. I'll figure it out. My friends all know that I work full time as well. They understand it's a hectic job sometimes, but I will find a way. Like, I'm that type of person. I will find a way, and I will go. But my sister's like, no, sorry. So I wish I was a little bit more like her. It's important. No, but it's important that I think people just reflect, and I hope that people reflect, because at the end of the day, you've got, like you say, your why, right? So if your why is, I want to invest a certain amount, I want to save a certain amount, I want to get a certain property, all of these things are important and it's not about, there's a level of sacrifice, but it's a balance, right? And sometimes you don't want to balance too much to the detriment to yourself, where it's like I don't know, you go 10 years and then it's now resentment, because it's like, right, I didn't even get to where I got to because I felt like I was doing everything for everybody else, and like, where's everybody for me? It's about a balance. You make there are some things that are not even important that you go to. Not to say that you can't meet up with your friends, but let's say it's meeting up with your friends and then it's going out somewhere where you know it's gonna put you in the red. Nah, you can meet your friends, 100%. But you just don't meet them there, because you know that's putting you in the red. Exactly. You can still meet them. Meet them at the house, meet them somewhere cheaper. I don't know, wherever it is. But because that is the case for some people, and I know that is, right? That's the case. Like, you know, it's more that, you're not even really that excited, because you're like, I know I'm going to have to deal with this after financially and mentally. What does that kind of situation, how do people deal with that? Like, how does that affect somebody going through something like that, where like they do go out with friends and like now they're in the red, there's issues? And it just amounts and gets bigger, and it becomes a bigger thing, because if you're putting yourself in debt to enjoy a friend's birthday, you're not enjoying it, because now you're in debt, right? And now you got to get yourself out of the debt. How are you going to do that? So it just becomes this vicious cycle of you always owing somebody something, and it's not cool. Something that always happens, I'm seeing it a lot, and I'm hearing about it a lot, and I've been at the brunt of it too. It's like, friend's birthday, going to a dinner. I know how much I need to spend because you've told me how much, and I always add a bit extra, right? I go there. Someone on the table wants to say, I don't think the birthday girl should pay for dinner. And I'm looking at them like, who sent for you? Because I know how much I'm paying for this, right? I've come from a different city to get here. That's cost me too. You know, my fun is £200 per month, yeah? So this is £70. It's cost me £30 to get here. That's £100. So so I'm already in the red. I'm already in the red for my own fun. You've opened your big mouth and said, oh, I don't think the birthday girl should pay. So I'm like, how much extra am I now putting on this? And there's been times where I've had to just suck it up. And the reason I've sucked it up, because I don't want to be that person. Because I know how I am. And if I open my mouth, I'm going to ruin the day. So there's times where I've just had to do it. But there's other times where I've been in a situation where the birthday girl's not there yet, and I will say something at the beginning. I'll say, guys, how are we doing this? Is it a situation where we're paying for the birthday girl because I don't have the money for that? And I'll do it where the birthday girl is none the wiser. But because the conversation wasn't had and they brought it up with the birthday girl there, I've had to suck it up. And what's annoying is that I don't usually do birthday gifts, but I got her a gift too. So now it's like, and it was a monetary gift. So now it's like, oh, and I'm dead. So I just feel like we as people need to be more mindful of others. Because if you open your mouth to say, I don't think the birthday girl should pay, the next time that happens, I'm going to say, okay, you can pay for her then. Because you've opened your mouth. I don't think it's fair for people to put their situation on others. If you want to pay, like when I go out for a drink or dinner, I will just buy the birthday girl a drink. That's just my way of being like, oh, I bought you a drink. You know what I mean? But pay for your dinner after the meal, £70 per person. And I'm just like, I don't like that. Or, oh, guys, I think we should get a bottle. Are we all in agreement? Are we all going to drink from it?
This is where people get into situations. And the birthday thing is, I think it's definitely dependent on like, you know, your situation, how you are in your friend group for sure. But like it's the group setting, right, that you're describing, right? Like where if you have an agreement and it's like, let's add, I've been in those situations. And it's not even birthdays. I'm just talking just general, right? Where it's like you had in your head, you had a budget. It's again, guys, I'm not talking about birthdays here. Just general. Let's say you're going out, have your budget and then out of nowhere, the budget increases. I could afford it. I'm just saying somebody who might not have been, it's hard for them to now say no in that situation because they don't want to look like I'm the broke one. And then you then put yourself in the
I can imagine
in the red.
It's probably harder with a group of guys.
Oh yeah, it's tough to do that. Yes, no, I'm not gonna. You have to have a strength of mind to be like, no, I'm not doing. Well, I ain't paying that. But then, like you say, it goes back to your why to be like, you go back to say, look, guys, this is what my plan is. This is what I'm working towards. So this is all I can put here, right? And
I think for me, I think I'm too nice sometimes because my birthday is very close to Christmas. Sometimes I don't celebrate it because I'm always thinking about other people. So I've got my own issues as well. Because I'm like, oh, how much is it going to be? How much is it going to cost everyone? Oh, it's so close to Christmas and it's another expense, everyone. But now I don't care. You're either coming or you're not. So I get it, but
so we did say we will talk about this. Can you speak to how money mindset shifts affect not only our thinking but also our physical well-being or stress levels?
So like our nervous system, we don't talk about it a lot, and it's something that I've obviously recently gone in really like into, which has been really exciting because I didn't notice it. So we always talk about like money mindset, so how our mind thinks and feels about money, but we don't actually talk about our bodies, like how our body is our body open to receiving wealth? Which is kind of like a weird question because we receive money in our hands, right? And in our hearts. But where it pertains to our bodies, sometimes, have you ever noticed that when you're thinking about a money situation or you've gotten an email talking about rates or something, you might get a weird feeling in your stomach or something? Like, oh, you feel a bit, oh gosh, that made me feel uncomfortable. So we've got so many different like nerves running through our body and we all react to different things. So for me, when I'm feeling like I get an email and I'm not sure of myself or how to rate myself or whatever, I get a really sick feeling, like that gut, really wrenching feeling in my stomach. I'm like, wow, I didn't notice the connection before. It's to do with money. Same with like, if I'm having to deal with a situation with a client and having to go back and forth, I get tension on my shoulders and my neck. And I thought, I haven't lifted anything heavy today. So we need to listen to our bodies more. We don't ever think about doing it because we just think we're tired or we need a massage. But a lot of the time when we talk about money and how we feel about it, we'll have different responses. The same, like your body's going to be regulated, your nervous system, or it's going to be deregulated. So if it's deregulated, you're either going to have that fight or flight mode or you're going to freeze. So the fight and flight mode within personal or business could be that there's an urgency to do something. You need to do it now, or you're not thinking, you're overworking yourself. You just go. Or you might freeze and you might just be stagnant in your business, or you might be just like rolling with the nines, not really doing much, or you might just be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, or you might ignore bills or ignore emails that are coming through. That's our body responding. So that if I'm like uncomfortable, I find it really difficult to relax. I'm always on go mode because I'm in fight or flight, and I'm in that a lot. So it's like, how do you regulate your body? How do you become calm and connected? So bring your mind and your body together. So that's something that I've had to work through, and it can just be breathing exercises. Like when I did my first sound bath, amazing. I know we can't always do that. Well, I suppose you could play a YouTube video and just lay down. But it's like little things like that. And in business, I feel like we never have a space of just being quiet, just being still. I think even when people sleep, they're not quiet and they're not still because there's always like the mind is ticking over. So I think just bringing in those practices of just being still. And I know we may not have the time on our day to like dedicate an hour to do that, but it could be little things like I said about how we respond. So again, if you got that email, you got that text, bring it into your normal life. If you get something and it makes you feel very like you got your guard up, you're feeling really heavy, don't respond in that time because you're going to be responding from how you feel. But if you allow yourself to like breathe, so what I do now, I stand up, I take deep breaths and I put my hand over my heart because sometimes your heart is racing as well when you're feeling like that. I literally just put my hand over my heart and I breathe in and out quite heavily for about a good 5 seconds. And you can just feel your heart going back to its normal pace. And then when I do that, sometimes I can respond to the email straight away. So I think we need to learn how to regulate our bodies because it's not just a mind thing. When I first started this, it was like mindset. I just ignored the body because I thought the body follows the mind anyway. But how we do react to money, our body reacts to it without us even knowing. It's only when like maybe after they listen to the podcast, they might see it in their own lives now where they're like, oh, my body did react to that. So I think we need to start listening to our bodies a bit more. Just like when we go to the gym and you feel good, your body feels good. It's like you're literally renewing yourself after a gym session. It's the same with money. Like our body reacts to everything. So if you're scared of something, your body's going to react to it. So I think it's about listening to your body and actually doing the work to become more regulated. Take a break, especially if you work in stress related conditions as well at work. Take a break. Everyone's just work. Take the 5-minute break. The work will be there when you come back. Go outside. People don't go outside enough as well. Like for me, my deregulator when I have the time, walk. Yeah.
Me too. Walk. That's what I like to do as well. When I just need to just shut everything out, just don't listen to anything serious, just be chilled and, you know, connect. So let's say somebody is worried about money, right? Like it could be like, okay, they've got a letter through the door, I don't know, bailiffs or debt or maybe how much they spent, whatever it is that they're worried about. You're saying that they should try and deregulate in some way and try to
regulate their body.
Regulate their
they're
body.
In a deregulated state.
So
they need to regulate their body. And I think walking is the best thing because you're getting the fresh air as well. A lot of us, when workplaces where we're sat behind a desk, sat on our butt for too long, we eat at our desk. We never go outside and get some fresh air. There's no windows open. It's all air conditioning system. That's how you get sick. Go outside. Go for a walk, stay off the phone, just go for a walk, listen to a podcast or something, listen to this, go for a walk. It's so important because it literally, and it makes me so thankful because I used to do it. I don't do it as much, gratitude walking. Because my schedule's all about the place. I don't get to do it as much because I used to do it on a Sunday without fail. But just being thankful for what you have. A lot of us forget like where we were 6 months ago and where we are now. You manifested where you were 6 months ago now. So be thankful. And that's why I had to do the jar because I kept forgetting. And that's why when I got to the end of the year, I was like, oh, what have I done this year? Because I couldn't remember anything. And I was like, that's bad that I couldn't remember it. But when I spoke to my friends, they're like, but Nat, you did this, you did that. I was like, you're right. Write it down. I'm getting older as well. I can't remember everything. Write it down, put it in a jar.
No, it's so important. And thanks for sharing that because it's true. Like when you think about money, like let's say you've lost money or something bad financially happens to you. I think that sometimes you can start to feel, you know, tired, a bit like,
you want to
give up, you know, and that's true. That is a real feeling that can, you know, what are the signs that tell somebody that, look, that is having a physical impact on you, that, you know, money's having an impact on you?
You'll start to feel pain. You'll definitely feel like physical pain on the body, 100%. Wherever you feel tension the most, that's where you're going to feel it on your body, whether it's up here or wherever, you're going to feel pain. Your body's going to talk to you. Just like if you're tired, right? Your eyes are going to start to close. So I feel like when it pertains to money, if you start feeling like that, your body will just literally shut down. And you can actually become ill as well. If you're like sluggish, you're not going to want to eat. You're not going to want to drink. You might just want to like eat crap just to like, I don't know, numb how you're feeling. So again, you have to listen to your body because your body will tell you.
Yeah.
You know when you're feeling run down.
It's true.
Your body tells you, but you ignore it.
And that's the thing. You just want to kind of work through it. I wanted to ask you this, right? What are the key mindset shifts people need to make to move from having no savings to saving consistently to actually building wealth?
The biggest one is knowing it's possible for you. I still don't think people believe that they can build wealth because they feel like, who am I? I'm just a working class Joe. I can't build wealth, because maybe they haven't seen anyone build wealth before. But online, the amount of people I've seen that have come from very average lives that were able to build wealth tells me anyone can build wealth. And it also tells me you don't need a lot of money to start. So I think you have to believe that you can actually build wealth and it's possible for someone like you. Secondly, once you get there, knowing that you should help others as well, that's a big thing. And also, why do you want to build wealth? Just because you can build wealth, why do you want to build wealth? What are you going to do with it? Because if you're just going to build wealth to be selfish, I don't think that's a reason for building wealth. You want to obviously live a better life, right? But for me, building wealth is to live a great life and to pass back to others, to be able to give my time and not have to charge for it. If I was wealthy, I wouldn't be charging anyone for my time, because you'd want to give back. Yeah. I mean, that's just me. So I think with your mindset shift, it's knowing that this is possible for you. That's number one. What would I also say? Mindset shift. You know what? A part of me wants to say that it's not hard, because I think like we think with our minds, we always think, oh, to have something good, we have to struggle to get it, or we have to go through the dirt to get it, go through the mud or whatever, or we have to work 10 times harder to get it. Hate that. So I think with your mindset, we need to shift it that you don't have to work hard. It's just about working smart and using your time that you do have wisely. If you're still at the stage, which most of us are, we're exchanging our time for money, it's not a bad thing as long as you're using that money wisely that you're exchanging your time for. Because at the end of the day, like we said, some people don't think about the future until it's too late.
Yeah.
So while you still got your youth, and you're still able to save, use that money that's coming in to build towards your retirement.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna. It's been a great part 2 conversation. I definitely want to have part 3, because I feel like we could definitely deep dive into like the physical aspects and the learnings there, because I think that's going to be so interesting. If people wanted to reach out to you, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me across all social media platforms under Natalie Scott Empowers. That's Instagram, TikTok. You can also find me on my website, nataliescottempowers.com. And yeah, just check. Have a feel for me. I'm all about energy. Have a feel for me. See if you like what you see, and then book a chat. Let's talk.
Amazing. Like I said, I really appreciate part 2. I really appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing all of these kind of stories, because I know it's not easy for you to share look, I had to go back into 9 to 5, and a lot of people wouldn't share that and say that this is what it is, because again, like I feel like on the a lot of us want to have that perception of everything is perfect, and life is not perfect at the end of the day, right? It's not perfect. It's tough, and I wish more of us would just be honest and just say, look, it's tough, and we don't always have it together. And just because we don't have it together doesn't mean that we're bad or we're not great, or doesn't mean we're not successful, right? Even the successful people have challenges daily. 100%. It's normal, right? So yeah, really appreciate you on that. Do you have any final words for watchers and listeners?
I would say, you guys are watching this podcast for a reason, because you love how Atto interviews and you love the guests that he brings. What I would say is take something, even if it's one thing, take something from each guest that comes, because even I watch your episodes and I always take something from a guest that comes and apply it. Apply something that you see from every episode, because the people that you're getting here to come, they have all different walks of life, and I know that there's going to be someone in the audience that will resonate from that walk of life and be like, wow, if they did it, I can do it. So take something from it and apply it.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for the kind words, and appreciate you tuning in into the podcast.
Always, I love it.
Thank you. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the podcast. See you next week's episode. If you enjoyed this episode, share your favorite part in the comments, tap the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is really appreciated. We'll keep working hard to bring you more valuable conversations.